Hey guys, it's Miss Gregory. This is the advanced course, part of the 7th grade curriculum. So this is Chapter 3, Lesson 2. In your textbook, it is pages 203 to 206. We are working on adding integers, and you can see even the different math cover provided here. Just a reminder, you are not writing in these hardback books, so you need notebook paper, you need pencil, maybe even some colored pens or highlighters. That's completely up to you. You probably want to have your textbook handy so that you know what we're talking about and you can see the pages for yourself. Probably some headphones to cancel out some of the noise, a quiet place, and get ready. Alright, on page 203, I kind of want you to scan the lesson, do the vocabulary startup, and do the real world link. Write these, of course, on paper. Have it labeled, name, date, period, lesson 3.2, adding integers, and start with your answering of the vocab startup and the real world link. Pause the video now, answer the questions, come back when you're ready. Okay, a simple rule to help you out here with adding integers. This should play along with some of the rules you thought about yesterday when we were doing the inquiry lab using the red and yellow chips. But lads, this helps you out because the LA stands for like signs, you add them. The DS means different signs, you must subtract. Okay, easy rule to remember. We'll talk about it again. Alright, so this page gives you rules for adding integers that have the same sign. So again, it's there in words. I don't want to read this to you, but off to the side, notice what I put in the different colors. You do need to write this down. Notice that two positive symbols are being added, so a positive number plus a positive number equals a positive answer. Okay, like signs, if they're both negative, a negative number plus a negative number has a negative answer. All this goes with if they have the same signs, like signs, you add them. Now looking at the example, they also show you with a number line how you could jump on the number line to find your answer. So -3 plus -2, moving up and down the number line, you would land at -5. Thinking about the colors from the chips, the red marked the negative number, so you would have 3 red chips plus 2 red chips, and you would have a total of 5 red chips. And red meaning the answer is negative. Okay, now you try the got it's, and when you come back, the answers will be there for you to check. You're doing the got it, A and B.
Big shout out for Angelina.
Okay, back to the got it. Answers for A, B, and C. And just a quick reminder, the LA is reminding you we added those because they have like signs. The signs are the same. So 2 negatives equal a negative answer. And moving on. Alright, this is adding integers that have different signs. So DS, different signs, subtract. It's important that you look at what I highlighted because you have to understand absolute value, distance from 0 on the number line. You are going to choose the final sign for your answer based on which of the two numbers has the greatest absolute value. In other words, which number is the furthest from 0? Keep the sign of that number. Okay, so we have some examples of 9 plus -4. They have different signs, so subtract. 9 minus 4 is 5. Which sign? Should it be a +5 or a -5? Well, 9 is further from 0, so it has to be a +5. Think back to your red and yellow chips, and you can always work that out to help you. Okay, some other things that are marked important and some notes off to the side that you need to make sure you put down. When you add integers with different signs, you can start at 0 on a number line. You would move right for the positive integers and you would move left for the negative integers. This is another strategy that you can use in addition to the red and yellow chips, in addition to the LADS rule of like signs add, different signs subtract. You do what you feel comfortable with. Okay, and examples 3 and 4 show you how you would move on the number line, starting at 0, then move to the right 5. Since 3 is negative, you would move back to the left 3 times, and where you land is your final answer. So I land on positive 2, that is my answer. That confirms like signs add, different signs subtract. I would subtract 5 minus 3 is 2. 5 is further from 0 and it's positive, so my answer is positive 2. Okay. You can try using the number line as well. For the got it's, use whichever you feel comfortable with. Try the number line, see if you like it. When you come back, we'll have the answers to the got it. Okay, notice I did with the got it's, D and E. Both of them are different signs subtract, so changed it up so that the larger number is the one being subtracted from, and then we decide the sign. So I've got 7 minus 6 is 1. In the example, negative 7 is further from 0, so it has the greater absolute value. So for D, my answer would have to be negative 1. For E, different signs subtract. 19 minus 15 is 4. 19 is further from 0, and it keeps the positive sign. Okay, moving on. More examples, 5, 6, and 7, helping you out here, and I added some important things I want you to consider. Notice in pink I put that they're the additive inverse, going back to that first page you were doing on your own. Basically, they are opposites. They're on opposite sides of the number line. So 7 plus negative 7 would give you 0. We've talked about that being a 0 pair when we were solving equations and when we were doing the inquiry lab, how to make a 0 pair. Off in the work zone in the margin, I pointed out that it is important to remember the different properties: commutative, associative, and identity. They're reminding you there what each is, and that they're being used here to try to simplify the problems and make the expressions a little easier to solve. So if you look at example 7, you are adding 3 numbers together and they have different signs. One is a positive and 2 are negative. So notice how they regroup: associative property, or you could think about it as changing the order, commutative property. So now they have the positive 2 with the negative 2, which we know makes a 0 pair, and the only number we're left with is negative 15. So the answer would be negative 15. Now, you guys try the got it, F and G and H, showing what work is necessary, deciding if they have like signs and you add or they have different signs and you subtract. Okay, now you should be able to see the answers to the got it questions. 10 plus negative 12. Different signs subtract. 12 minus 10 is 2. Negative 12 is further, so it's a negative sign for negative 2. G, different signs subtract. 18 minus 13 is 5. Keep the positive sign. It's the one further from 0. With H, you have three numbers. Look at the combination of numbers and get rid of the get rid of the zero pair first. The -6 plus +6. They're opposites. They cancel out and equal 0. So you're left with an answer of -14. Okay. Looking again using your LADs, like signs add, different signs subtract. Looking at the last example, number 8. A roller coaster, and you have the roller coaster going up, then down, then back up. So you have to figure out where did the roller coaster end. Find the sum and then explain its meaning. Okay? Moving the numbers around a little bit using the commutative property, meaning you can change the order of the three numbers. They put the positive numbers together. 20 plus 16 is 36. Different signs you need to subtract. So now 36 minus 32 is 4. You keep the positive sign because 36 is the greater absolute value. So now you try the guided question I on temperature. Show your work, and when you come back, we'll check answers. Pause now. And here's your got it. Using a number line turned like a thermometer and moving up and down the number line may help you, but the answer to the got it is -5 degrees. And it's -4 degrees. It doesn't say whether it's Fahrenheit or Celsius, but -5 degrees would be your stopping point. Moving on. Okay, now you are going to work on the guided practice. Okay, as you work through these, you need to state if they're like signs and you add, or if they're different signs and you subtract. Also, don't forget to rate yourself, and go ahead and review if you need to. Get started on doing guided practice on your own notebook paper. And the end. Toodaloo. Bye.